It's an honor, Your Highness, giving me this opportunity to talk to our community development team here. We are glad to meet you. We are glad to welcome you. I mean, a key important figure cannot come around and then we sit and we don't rush to meet you. You are not really talking to us. We are talking back, like people back in Cameroon might want to know, okay, he went to America, went to Canada, why did he go there? So it's just going to be like my first question. What actually brought you to Canada, Your Highness?
Well, I came here for the SAWA North America Convention, which is a group of young men and women who have decided to bring all the coastal tribes that share a common cultural background together. So starting all the way from Manfi, from the Bangis, all the way to Kupe Maninguba, Meme, Fako, down all the way to Kribi. All of us are coastal people, and so we identify as the Sawa people. We dress the same, our language is very similar, and we have the same culture and traditions. So we are looking for a way to bring ourselves together so that we can not only help preserve this common culture, but also be able to be a political force, because numbers in politics matter. So we can make political decisions and political demands to better our own communities. So it's a grassroots thing. This is their second edition. First edition was in the US. The second one is in Montreal. That's why I came here. So I can help move that agenda forward for our people.
If you're just watching, you see he's dressed like a Sawa man. He's His Royal Highness Dr. Robert Esuka Endeley, the Paramount ruler of Buea. So what are the most pressing needs of Buea right now?
The most pressing need of Buea right now is water. The people are very thirsty. It's really hard to understand why Buea will be having a water crisis when the richest place when concerns water is on Cameroon. That's one of the biggest aquifers in West Africa.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not just that it's not about the availability of water, it's about the management of the water. So what we have done as a community is to forget about CamWater, which manages water on behalf of the communities for the government, and start our own water resource program within the communities, because we have direct access to these aquifers that come from the mountain, Mount Cameroon.
Yeah, how can we better support that project, those of us in the diaspora?
There are several initiatives on how to support that. One of them, I'll take the case of Buea Town as an example, where we're sourcing for funds to build a 50,000 liter tank. Because if we bring all this water from the mountain, of course we can't drink all the water at night or during the day. So we need an intermediary place to store the water while it's accumulating, and then we share during the day. So any help to build that tank would be one way. Alternatively, people are doing a lot of community boreholes within Buea area, because we have to look for multiple sources of water to really cure our thirst. So communities are banded together to drill boreholes. That's one way that people can come together and support this water crisis. All over, from Great Support to Moliko to My 16 to Moya, the crisis of water is the same. And water is not just about drinking. Water affects the health of the people within the house, and even affects the education of the children. So children cannot go to school on time in the morning because they have to go look for water for their parents to bathe before their parents go to work. And so if their parents don't get water on time, they get angry with the children. So it destroys the whole mood of the house when there's no water. And not just that, even the hygiene of the people. How do you store that water? How do you drink it? It really affects everything from top to bottom.
Apart of water, is there any other upcoming project apart of water?
Oh yes, we as the people of Fako, we are deeply buried in what we call the FACO Multipurpose Cultural Center Development Project, which will be a flagship project for FACO. It will be located at the upper farms. It will be right at the foot of the mountain. So from anywhere in town, you can see it. It's a really big multi-phase project that will develop. The full plan of that project just came out last month. It's a very optimistic project, but we know we can do it. We might not do it all, but if we start, the next generation will finish. If our grandparents have started, we will be the ones finishing it. And that's the thing about the vision. The vision does not need that you have to accomplish the vision yourself. Moses never got to Jerusalem, but the vision to carry the people from Egypt to Israel was part of his vision, So that's how we are settling this.
When we look at Buea, where your Paramount stool is, it's a place where it's very active. When I talk about, if I mention the word active, I look at the University of Buea, I look at other institutions. It means that there are a lot of young people in Buea. What steps are being taken to actually empower these young people? Do you have plans on that?
Yeah, there's a lot of young people in Buea. Buea has at least 30 universities. University of Buea is just one. There's Catholic University, there's Biaka University, there's HIMSS, there's HAMS, there's HIMAT, all kinds of names in this world, and Buea. And so we are generating a lot of young talent there. But that talent is doing a lot of things that is not being announced very well over the world. Silicon Mountain is the actually technology hub of startups for the whole of Central Africa. That's where you have the thickest concentration of computer programmers in the whole of Cameroon, just in Moliko. Silicon Mountain is located in Moliko. And they're not just doing things in terms of tech, they're also looking for various means of garbage disposal, because we are running into garbage problems a lot in Buea now. So those young children are doing a lot, not just in technology, even in the music industry. All the big musical names you know in Anglophone Cameroon, Daphne, Mr. Leo, all of them started in Moliko. So it's an incubation pot for a lot of things. Now, not everybody is in music or technology. There are some people who don't fall into those two categories, and what are we doing with them? One of the things we do as a palace is that we host a lot of young people on just uplifting their mindset. Mindset is one of the greatest impediments to humanity. How you think determines what you become in life. They say a man becometh what he thinketh. Okay. And so we are trying to improve on their mindset a lot. A lot of young men have given up and women have given up on the country. I had a symposium in University of Buea Law School where there were hundreds of students, and the first question I asked was, if given the opportunity to leave Cameroon next week, how many of you will go? Everybody's hand was up. So their primary goal is escape. And I'm trying to teach them that not everybody needs to leave their country for the country to be fixed. Some of us need to stay back and do this work, because nobody is going to do it for us. Mandela didn't leave South Africa to fix it. Neither did Martin Luther King leave America to fix it. They all went to jail, came out, and stood firm for their countries.
Now, let's talk culture. You are the custodian of the culture of the people of FACO, a very unique culture in the world. And Buea is in a kind of cosmopolitan town. No, if I say town, like I try to underlook, Buea is a city. It's a city. Sorry to use the word town. Yeah. If we look at Buea, it's having people of all walks of life, respective religions, and all people have lived their lives, and they can't live away from Buea. Right. It's like the Bakure culture might disappear. So how can we ensure the continuation of this unique Bakure culture that we have?
I'm not worried that the Bakure culture can disappear, because technology has come. For some people, they think technology has come to reduce and dilute the culture. To me, technology has come to make our culture better. Now, I don't know if you people know here in Montreal, but there's a Bakure lessons that are going online every Saturday at midday, where they teach children the language across the world. We are using technology to do that. Without WhatsApp, we couldn't have been doing that. Now there are Bakure proverbs that are being written on a daily basis and circulated online for people, even in South Korea, to read and practice. We are using technology to do that. We are holding online classes, live presentations on Zoom and Facebook. So we are using the tools of technology to expand our cultures in ways that we did not. Also, the Bakure alphabet is one of the things that has retarded the written part of the Bakure alphabet has been our inability to document our consonants and vowels. That has been done very, very well now, and it's been circulated online. So every child knows now how to read Bakure, because the medium of making that available is online. Now, you already said that Buea is a cosmopolitan place. Buea is not just for Bakri people. Buea is for Buea people. And I am Paramount Chief for everybody in Buea, not just for the Bakri people. So I was in Washington, D.C. in March to support the Buea People's Convention. That's everybody who is in Buea. There are people who know no other place than Buea. I know the Ngemtos, the Pa Peter who used to sell us pork in Buea. He said, by birth, he's a Bamileke man, but his children have never gone back to Bamileke country. They are not less Buea people than anybody. They can also run for mayor in Buea. And so we are trying to level the ground for everybody who has gone to school in Buea, has a parent in Buea, or has a cousin in Buea who has lived there for some, Buea person. Now, there are specific roles that I have to play, and I cannot deny. They call me the custodian of culture. The word custodian is from the word custody, which means I have to hold our culture down so it doesn't change or fluctuate. That means there are certain indigenous rights that I have to protect for indigenous people. Yeah. And everywhere in the world, that is protected for everybody. I cannot deny that I don't have to protect that for my people. So for everybody else in Buea who is not from Bakri land, we expect you to obey and abide to the laws that govern Bakri land. If it's Mountain Race Day, which is the big popular day in Buea, and they say the cleansing Juju Konganya is coming out at night to cleanse the town, I expect everybody to obey, whether you're Bakri, or Bamileke, or Banso, and it's my duty to ensure that that custom is respected. And so there's a clear distinction, but I think we can all live together in peace and harmony.
Is there any particular vision to preserve the culture for future generations? Like you came here, you saw our kids here, they are born here.
Right.
And not only back home. Presently, I'm from the Northwest. I'm learning more about my culture here in Canada,
right,
instead back home.
Right.
So we might be taking it for granted that back home there are things, but is there any vision? Do you have any project to preserve and conserve this?
Yes. So one of the things we are doing at my palace that was not being done before is that we do holiday classes for children in the language, where they come and learn the language just as part-time, casually. But also, we have succeeded in really documenting some of Bakri's most lost stories. One of the things I do personally is to write and document a lot of our stories, so that even if I die, whatever goes on the internet, we say the internet never forgets.
Yeah.
20 years from now, our children will still be reading those stories to know where they came from and where they are going. But I can tell you that there's a challenge, because every child now wants to speak English in the village. My driver is probably somebody who left class 7 in primary school and never completed school more than that. He doesn't know English, but he speaks English to his children at home. And the children laugh at him, that Daddy, you don't even know how to speak English. Instead of him speaking Mokwe, which is the thing that he knows very well. And so we are still trying to rebuild the mindset that speaking the dialect to your children is not a disgrace. It doesn't make you a lesser human being. You know, we say that, in fact, in science, it's said that if you know more than one language, then you have a lesser chance of having Alzheimer's disease. So multilingualism is actually an advantage both in health and in life. So we want our children to learn multiple languages as much as possible. You can go to America and learn the American language, go to Germany and learn the German language, but those are only additions to your mother tongue. Your mother tongue is the first thing you should know. He who abandons his culture becomes a slave to another man's culture. And that's what we're trying to teach our children.
Your Highness, it's difficult for me to sit in front of you and I don't talk about the management of how do you handle the administration of our natural resources. Right. We know how Buea is. Right. Everybody wants to remain and build in Buea. Everybody wants to grab a piece of land in Buea. Here in Canada, some people, their first place that they think of buying land is in Buea. How do you manage this?
Well, I invite everybody to come and buy land in Buea, to come and buy it legally. As a Cameroonian, you should be able to buy land anywhere. I should be able to go to Sang Malima and buy land as a Cameroonian. Now, one of the easiest way to make a people stranded in their own community is to dispossess them of their land. I think the economists have said that very well, that you need 3 things to be wealthy. You need land, you need capital, and then you need labor. You can always bring labor and capital. You cannot bring land. Land is immovable. In French, they say la terre ne voyage jamais. So we have to protect the land for indigenous people to a good extent. I can give you examples where the indigenous people's rights on lands have been violated. We have a court dance called Mali, where there's a sacred shrine. That's where they go prepare before they come and perform in the open. All our sacred shrines now are visible from people's story buildings.
Yeah.
Because people have built 3-4-story buildings that you can see far. So those are things we have to protect. Even if you have to come and buy land, it has to be such that the rights of the local people and their indigenous traditions are protected. And that's my job. But I invite everybody to come and buy land in Buea. The Americans did not build New York by themselves. The Germans, the Chinese, the Japanese, they'll put money there, but it was structured. And that's where I have to put my foot down. Because there are areas where I have a piece of land where in Buea town, which I thought would expand our health center, which everybody in Buea town benefits as the first place of crisis. And I saw a démarché advertising it online. So I wrote to the administration immediately that you people cannot give this land away. It's either the government uses it or you give it back to the community to use it to expand our health center. And the government quickly sat back, stood on their feet, and wrote back to me that they protected the land. So if you hear something like that which is not right, please tell me. I'm not all-knowing. I have no monopoly of knowledge or no monopoly of land concessions in Buea. I'm just a vessel that God has chosen that I help move things forward for my community.
How do you help to resolve dispute and maintain peace in this community which is very cosmopolitan?
Oh yeah, I have a court in the palace. We have a palace court where we judge cases every Monday. And we have luckily, I know a little bit about technology, so all our cases, I've kind of digitalized them. So you can always go online and see what day your case is coming and whether your case has been registered. Those are some of the innovations I'm bringing to the palace. Because many times people come and say, I reported this case, you have not called me up, you've not called the people that came and reported up. But you can go there and say that you are case number 17, when other people have reported other cases. So we judge every Monday. We try to bring peace within the community. I've always told my villagers, my elders, and my notables that my goal is not to pass quick judgment. My goal is to bring families together. So I try to make sure I bring families together before I pass judgment, because 90% of our cases are about land. And it's brother and sister, or sister and sister, or brother and brother. 90+%. I'm being very generous. I'm being less generous to say it's only 90%, because almost 100% is about land disputes. And this is within families, not from outside. And so we try to bring fair judgment in the community. You know how cases are. Both parties never leave your palace happy. Some will roll on the floor and cry after judgment. Some will swear that they'll never come back to this palace. But in my clear conscience, I know I've brought justice and I've done my best.
Now, I want to look at some leadership questions. What are your long-term goals for your community?
Well, my bigger term goals is to see how I can bring all the Fako people together across the world. That's why I'm in Canada. That's why I'm actually sitting here with you people. This is a personal sacrifice that I have to make and go back and tell my people that when I came to Canada, I met with my Fako people. Because if I go back there and tell, the first question they'll ask me in Bakwero, Omenewa Toango, did you see your people? What will I tell them? If I don't tell them yes, then it means I'm not true to my own self. So I travel all over the world just to bring our people together. I was in England last year, all the way to Leicester with my notable, to try to bring the British Fako people together. And we are here this time. And besides that, the other goal is to build a flourishing Fako Multipurpose Center. It will be the center of excellence for language, where you can go there and learn not just Fako languages like Isubu or Roko or Mbumboko, but it will also be a language center where if you want to travel to Germany, they can say go to the Fako Multipurpose Center and learn German there, because we'll have expertise in all languages there. We will not just end on the front of language, we'll go a little further. We'll have a flourishing restaurant there of Fako foods. We'll have a shrine for Kuvali Kenya, who is our greatest ancestor, who freed us from the German hands. Mm-hmm. His shrine will be there. We'll have multi-buildings for sports and exercise and leisure. We'll have a place for elders, where elders can sit and commune together and find space in their own time. So it's about 7 buildings within the 5-hectare piece of land that we have already located, and work had already started. That is our greatest vision. Now, our goal is to finish it, but we don't have a total determination of our future. But wherever we end, we know that at least we started, because starting is the most difficult thing in the world.
Yeah, you are. And as you just said that when you go back home, they'll ask you, did you meet your people? Your personal impression, you met them. Are they happy? Well, how can you evaluate them? Your people here.
It's hard to find people who sit together in the same place to eat if they're not happy. It's really, really hard. So I think my people are doing well. They are thriving. This is a small community. We'll build it. I pledge them that I will hold them hand in hand. We'll build a bigger community, strengthen it, and be on their side, and also make their voice heard, so that when we are making decisions in Fako, they can also contribute to rebuild their homeland. The Jews always go back to Israel. They always. If the Bakri people don't come back home, that will be really sad. But we have to give them that incentive to want them to come back home. And that's my job.
You're coming to Canada comes at the right time where this association was just formed. I mean, it's a blessing for them to receive you. They formed the association. It was like there was no Fako, but they came up powerfully, and they are there. And then the Paramount ruler came. What message do you have for them?
It's one message that my own ancestors gave me and my elders gave me from the day of my coronation. Peace, harmony, and prosperity. If we all hold hands together, we'll go much further than if you went alone. And the Bakri man, in the common way we greet, we say Eyole Ninyo. That's the Bakri greeting, which means it's fundamental to us that we want peace. And if I want peace for my brother or my sister, I will never wish him bad. But if we don't, we are the only creatures on earth, humans, that are able to form communities, apart from bees and ants. But we do things that bees and ants can do because we are a little more intelligent. It means I can leave here today and go and visit my brother in Calgary. Ants don't do that. You never hear that the ant is leaving Moya to go visit another ant in Mokwango. So we have the ability to build communities even across distances. If we as humans and we as Bakri people don't take advantage of that ability that is innate to humans, then we are really going backwards. But I can tell you that the Bakri man is strong. We Bakri, we have a number of pillars that we share across all our brothers in Fako, which is wrestling, music, which we call Elongi. We have the traditional dances, and then we have our Juju dances that we share across all our brothers in Fako. It's the same thing. The Yoroko people and I, we dance Ganya at night. The Yoroko people and I, we dance Malay. There's no day where we want to make a big Malay, don't bring the Balondo people. So we are all tethered together in a single garment, as Martin Luther King would say it, a single thread. And so I'm very positive that I found them in good spirits. They are doing well. Everybody's looking happy. Everybody eats well and sleeps well. We'll take it to the next level from there, one step at a time.
Thank you, Highness. My last question is going to be, what legacy did that you like to continue, that your ancestors, that your fathers left, the legacies that they left, what do you like to pick from that and bring to our own time? We read that in history books.
Right.
And it's a pleasure for me to sit in front of that line. What are you picking from that time to bring to our present moment? That's going to be my last question.
My first goal is to be what they call me custodian of culture. It means the culture will not die in my hands. I have to make sure wrestling goes on every year. I have to make sure the Malay dances every year. I have to make sure we keep recruiting children into our core dances. That is part of the legacy my ancestors left me. I have to maintain that. But moving forward, one of the greatest things that my grandfather, Esuka Endeley, did was to preserve Fako land. In 1946, he formed what is called the Bakri Land Claims Committee, BLCC, to protect indigenous land. The whole of CDC is Bakri land.
Yeah.
Is it Toleti that's been sold now to somebody that we don't know, hundreds of hectares? It's Mokwe land. How do we preserve or make sure we don't lose more? And so that's one of my goals. And so I'm working hand in hand with the general manager of CDC to help strengthen him protect our land more and more. Because if we don't have land, then what are all these children ever going to come to do in Fako? When there's no land, there's nothing. Yeah, there's really nothing when there's no land. The first thing is land. You can bring labor and finance after, but if there's no land, you don't have a people. So one of the legacies that my fathers left was to protect our lands. When CDC was going to be privatized in 1982, it was my predecessor who stood up and said, against his own dream and his wish, not during his reign, that CDC will be privatized. So that is the legacy they left with me. The times have changed. I cannot tell you a lie. Circumstances have also changed with the times. The laws have changed, but there are some fundamentals we can still maintain.
Thanks for watching. That was the Paramount ruler of Buea, Chief Dr. Esuka Endeley. He's giving us an insight of what he wants to do, his vision, and if you feel like joining in, please don't hesitate. Buea has been a great city and is going to be a great city. I just want to say I'm sorry for the poor quality or the dark quality of some portion of the images. It was just a one-man crew trying to do everything. I met the Paramount ruler and I just seized the opportunity just to use whatever means I could do to get the interview. Thank you for watching. I'm sure I'm going to do better next time. Have a wonderful day. Yeah.